this video, I'm going to be walking you through how to host a simple application on an S3 bucket in the cloud. What we're going to be looking at is how to source for our code, because the most important thing is to make sure you have your code. We first of all source for our codes for the application, and then we create a local repository in my local system, and then save the code therein, and then I will use a versioning tool. In this case, I'll be using a Visual Studio Code to push these codes that I've gotten to my GitHub, and then from the GitHub repository I'm able to push these codes to my S3 bucket in the cloud. So it's going to be a series of eventful adventure. I just want you to pay close attention. I will try as much as possible to explain all the procedures, but I need your attention and comments as you watch this video. You can also make your comments constructively, because we are all learning. So first thing first, I will come to my local environment. Let me just assume coming to my local environment now, I have already created a repo, if you like, a file or folder where I'm going to store my code. So in this case, I have my I have a folder called New Application. Alright, so in this folder I have a couple of codes, that I can use to run my application. But for the sake of your understanding, I'm going to create a fresh folder. So this is common computer knowledge. You create a folder, you name it whatever you want. So let's name it my application. Alright, so that's your folder. Now you come to your browser to get your source code. We're going to be getting our source code from this website. Start Bootstrap is where you can easily get very well designed codes. So you can browse for themes here and then look for good ones. But as much as you look for good ones, remember, not all of them are free. So you look very closely to see the ones that are free. For instance, this is free, this is free, and this isn't free. I'm not sure this is free. No, this is not free, but all these are free. So you look out for the ones that are free. Say for instance, we love this face of this young man, or let's say we love this. Okay, this is not free. Okay, let's use this dashboard application. So we click on it and then we download the application. Click on the free download. Yes, it's downloaded to my computer. Now we need to extract all of the file because it was zipped. So extract all of it. Let's extract it. Okay. So excuse me. Okay, so you can see that these are all in my download, so I need to move them to that folder that I created earlier, at my application folder. So I can cut all of these, go to my desktop, look for that folder that I call my application, and then paste everything here. Okay, everything looks good, so I can leave here now, then take the next step, and then open a new window of my Visual Studio Code. Sorry, my laptop is a bit slow. I have a lot of heavy stuff therein. And then we try to open a new folder from here. Sorry. Alright, try to open a new folder. Of course, it will take me to my so look for my application, my app. Let's try. Alright, that's it. And then select. Now we have everything in our Visual Studio Code. Mind you, Visual Studio Code is not the only versioning tool. There are a couple of them there, but I'm very comfortable with this, hence I am using it. So the next thing, now that I have them in my VS Code, next thing, I need to push this to my GitHub. So I need to go to my GitHub account, create a new repository. Yeah, let me create a new repository. Let me call it my app, just to be consistent. Alright, my application, just to be complete consistent. It's approved, it's available, it's a name that I can use. If for instance someone had used it before, or if I've used it before rather, I can't, it will tell me it's not available. But Every other thing looks okay. Don't need to add or remove anything. So I create my repository. Now, having created my repository, I will just come here. You see all of these that I've got here. I will just copy it. Then come to my Visual Studio Code. Go open up a new terminal. Don't worry, all these things with time you get to know about them. Open up a new terminal. I'm very comfortable with using Git bash and paste everything here. I will hope it works. And then what am I trying to do now? I'm trying to push all of these to my GitHub repository. Okay, you can see everything has changed. If you check the status of these files, Git status rather, you find out that all the files, they are actually not added to commit but on track file presence. So for me to track all these files as it is, all of them, you can see U means they are all on track. So for me to track these files, I use git add to track all of these. Track git add. Yeah, enter. And you see that all of it have changed from U to A. It means that they are all tracked now. If you want to confirm that, you can use the git. You see everything has changed, and you see changes to be committed. So we are waiting, or the system is waiting for me to change or commit, or in other words, the word commit also could also mean to save, or all the changes that you have made to the document. So I will now have to, let me clear my screen now. Then I have to git commit. Drop it, the commit statement, committing to my repo. Committing my codes to my repository. That's fine. So you can see, if you want to find out where we are, you can see git status again to know where we are at the moment. You see on branch main, and your branch is ahead of the, so use git push to publish your local commit. So one more thing, for me to get all this down to my repository, my GitHub repository, I need to use git push, and everything will be in there. That's it. Alright. Now, if you want to find out or confirm that, remember, this is my app. If you want to confirm that, it does reload. You see that everything is here. Everything is here. So having done that, the next thing we need to do now, since we've been able to move all our codes to GitHub, we need to create a workflow using GitHub Action, so that it is that workflow that will help us to push this to the cloud in our S3 bucket. So you come here, click on action. There are different ways you could have done this. You can use other, pipelines. Jenkins is one of them. Github action, Travis CI, so many. But to make things simple or easier, I choose to use GitHub action. The aim of DevOps is for automation. The aim of DevOps is to find a way to automate things and make things done faster and better. And I could have also done this, what I'm doing now, by uploading these, source of code that I've got straight into my S3 bucket. Okay, first off, let's create an S3 bucket. You see what I'm talking about? Let me create an S3 bucket. Create a bucket. Okay, when you come into your console, maybe you don't know how I got there. Once you sign into your console, you find this, this interface. And so, if for instance you didn't find S3 bucket here in your own case, you can just search for S3 and it will pop out and select S3. And when that comes up, an option to create an S3 bucket will be given to you. You click that, give it a name. Let's say my app bucket 29. Hope that name has not been taken by anyone. If it has been used by someone, it will not fly. But I hope it hasn't been used, so it will fly, hopefully. So the only thing I need to change here, because I want to use this bucket to host a static website, I have to uncheck this. What does this mean? I need this bucket to be accessible to the public. Usually, S3 buckets are not supposed to be accessible to the public because they are used to store vital information, data, and all that. But in this case, I want to use it to host a website or to host an application. And so if the application must be useful, must be exposed to the public. So I will need to uncheck this. Of course, S3 or AWS will ask me if I'm sure. Of course, I will check this to say I am sure. So every other thing looks okay. Don't need to do too much. And then create a bucket. Alright, a bucket has been created, successfully created. Alright. Now, like I said, on a normal day, I could as well upload my source code. Okay, let me help you. You see what I'm talking about. I could click upload and upload files. I click on here and go to my home desktop. Look for that folder, my application. Yep, that's it. And I've got all of these. So all I just need to do is just to highlight all of these and then click open and all of them are in. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. Now, all of them are in. I want to automatically push these codes into my bucket such that any time there is need. For instance, this application was designed for a client, and after I built the application and forwarded the link, or the link to the application to the client, and the client sees something that is not comfortable with, or there's an update the client want me to do, all I just need to do is to sign into my GitHub repository, effect the change and push. Once I click on push, that change will be effected on the application. So that is the aim of DevOps, not for us to, be pushing things, manually. So I'm going to show you how we can do this by automation. So I'm going to try and remove all this right now. Yeah, remove all this. That's the aim, is not to add them manually. So having done this, there's still some more things we need to do about this bucket, or with this bucket rather. First off, we need to go and check the properties of this bucket and uncheck or activate the static website hosting, or enable the static website hosting capacity of the bucket. Otherwise, it will not work. So click here. See, what was enabled was what was highlighted was disabled. So with this disabled, it can never work. But I have to enable the static website. Now the next thing that we need to pay attention to is the file that we need to save once anybody comes in, or once the link is clicked on. What is that file that need to be saved? And of course, in this case, it's going to be index.html file. You don't need to worry about the error file and all of that. But if you want, you can add it so that should there be any error, that will prompt up as well. So everything looks good. Then we save changes. See, changes have been saved. Then we move on to the next, which is permissions. In permissions, we are supposed to do just about one or two things. Okay, one thing, because we have already done this while we are creating bucket. Otherwise, we could have also edited this and uncheck for public access. But for the fact we've done that, what we need to do is to create a policy. Yeah, create a bucket policy. Yeah, but before that, we need to create a user. Yeah, on AMI. Alright, create a user. Let's see, I've got some couple of users before. I will create a user. Let me say my app. Yeah, my app. That's okay. Yes, I will attach it to this group. That's all. Then attach a policy to this, and which policy is I need this user to be able to access S3 give it full access to S3. Yeah. Then yep, great. Alright, the user is created. You can see that, my app and all of that. So I can view user if I want, but other than that, I need to also create an access key for this user. This cannot be done by either clicking directly here or coming to security credentials and then create access key. In this case, I could either choose command line, local code, or others, whichever one that is okay by me, but most times I will always want to create this because I will put private things from my local system and then push them to the cloud. So create access key. Access key is created. Okay. Now we'll go back to our. There's still one more thing we need to do with the bucket, but we need to save this information. Otherwise, we lose them. So we'll go back to our Github and set up a workflow. Usually, you can get that from here, the marketplace. The marketplace, you can get these. Sorry. All right, I think this could do. Okay. Hope it does. A few marketplace, let's have a look. Yeah, I think this can do. Let's try. This can do for us. These codes can do what we want. Copy this. Come back to your repo. Okay. Paste it here. Now we can now look at what we need to change. Other things we need to change. I think I need this. I think I need this. Well, we can leave it there anyways. Yeah. Okay, so since my bucket is on, let me have a look. Okay, before then, is this what I really need? Not sure. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, so get the right code and then paste the right code here. I think this is the right thing. Yeah. Now remember our bucket name is my app. My app bucket 29. I think. Let's confirm that. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So you need to put your this there, and then now you see we have referenced some things here because you cannot expose your access key and secret key to everybody to have access to your GitHub repository, because your GitHub repository is actually public. So you need to create some secret files or secrets where you can hide these details, and then when you push your system, your GitHub or your S3 can read the credentials, your AWS credentials. Your GitHub can read your AWS credentials to be able to connect with your AWS platform. So you come to settings, Okay, before then, we need to push this, otherwise we need to commit this rather, so that we can have a workflow that is already saved. Yeah. Okay. Has been done. We can now go to settings so that we can create some secrets. We come to secrets, variables, actions, and create some secrets. So first off, we create asset key ID, AWS asset key ID. The first thing we are creating. So you come to your asset key ID, you copy it, you go to your GitHub and paste it there. Paste, add. That's done. Then you come again, create another secret. This time it's going to be AWS secret access key, and then you come here again, copy your secret access key, and then paste it there, and then you save. We're almost getting there. You can see the two here. So with these, you are not exposing your credentials to the public. Okay, so we'll come to our workflow now. Let's see if we can push. If we can push now to we can push now. We come to look for our S3 bucket. Let me show the name. Okay, so the name is my app bucket. So you copy this, copy, and you come to your workflow and paste this here. So with this, try to push to S3. I hope it works. To find out, we check if this is going through. You can see immediately you push, everything starts deployment. Everything is going to the cloud now. You see that? It's It's done. If you think you want to confirm that, you can come to your S3 bucket and you reload, and you'll be shocked. Everything is there. Everything. That's it. Now, we still have one more thing to do before we test if our application is live. Come to permission. We create a policy. Yeah. We create a policy for our buckets. We can find example of a policy. So I'll be a good one more. Let's see if we can get. This looks more like it. Okay, we did it. Let's copy. Yeah. Onto. Okay. There's some things we don't want. So the principal. Principal is going to be any. Yes, effect allow action, get X3, get action. Yeah, so the X3 buckets we are looking at. So put the name of our bucket here. Copy this. Okay, what I normally do, because all these things are very sensitive, I come to my VS Code to test it, because otherwise you may not be able to know where the error is coming from. Okay, so it's telling me to remove this, I think. What else? So there's an unexpected comma. I think the page as well. So it looks okay. You see the problem we fix. And this is, you can, thank you. So it looks okay now, I think. Alright, so you can now copy this. Copy back, go back to your paste it. So that's done. We save it. So policy saved. I think we are good to go. So you come to property now. Let's see if our website can. There you go. I go all the way down. The end point to the website is this. Let's see if our website is up. You can see that our website is live and up. We want to change something to see if it's really what it should be. So you can go to your GitHub and try and effect a change. For instance, let me use the index.html file. Let me correct or change something from this, and you see the effect. Okay, let me use this dashboard now and put my name and see. So I'll commit this immediately. I commit this change. If you look at, if you check the application again, you see if it is the same. You see that? Do you see that? My codes. Chief flows. So that's how simple it is to host a static site, with your S3 bucket. And not just to host it, but to ensure that it is automated using the pipeline that I just used, which is GitHub Action. Just expect more of these in the coming days through my channel. If you have any question, you have any comment you want to drop to encourage us, please kindly do so.